मैम बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आप यू वर वेरी इंस्पायरिंग। द वोट ऑफ थैंक्स के बाद नेशनल एंथम होगी। वोट ऑफ थैंक्स के लिए मैं एक और धरती पकड़ इंसान को बुला रहा हूँ जो इस झारखंड की मिट्टी से जुड़े हुए हैं। आईएएस में रह के गांव में इन्होंने आईएएस में जो मैम अभी कह रही थी उसका अनुभव इन्होंने खुद देखा है। विमल कीर्ति सिंह, अब वो एक एडवोकेट हैं सुप्रीम कोर्ट में। वो वोट ऑफ थैंक्स देंगे। उसके बाद नेशनल एंथम के बाद वी विल थैंक द गवर्नर अगेन एंड देन वी शिल प्रोसीड आफ्टर दैट।
Her Excellency Governor of Jharkhand Draupadi Murmu ji, most respected Honorable Chief Justice Sri Virender Singh ji, my lords of Jharkhand High Court, district judges, other judicial officers, my esteemed colleagues and members of the bar, Indrajit Bhadwar ji, Pradeep Rai ji, Parikh Saab, Registrar Delhi National Law University, वाजपेयी जी, राजेश्वरी जी, विनय जी, रविंदर राय जी हमारे बीच सांसद हैं। Before I come down to the task of giving the formal thanks, I just want to share two views, two thoughts with you in a very, very brief manner because I realize that we are already running late. The first thought which comes to when we are talking about access to justice and the various delays, the judicial system, the lack of judges, the conduct of the bar, these things come subsequently. There is a saying in Latin, ubi jus ibi remedium, where there is a right, there is a remedy. I realize, I'll narrate a very small incident. We were traveling in the second-class compartment from Patna to Delhi. And people who were to travel to Ara they're not leaving the seats which was meant for the reserved passengers. Lot of constables came, but they were interested in just looking at below the seats whether there's some big bag of wheat or rice is going so that they can charge some money from the passengers. And one strong built, 6 feet tall RPF Jawan came and he saw all this commotion going on over there. And he said, ki all those people who do not have a reserved seat, kindly leave. Only those people will stay who have a reserved category seat. And immediately within a minute or two, that commotion was gone. And everybody who had a seat and who had a right, I'm talking about the right and remedy, who had a right got their rightful seat. The chance of going to the railway authorities, the time to go to some judicial forum would come subsequently. If any person, I'm just saying, if any person has some right, there are authorities to see that his right is protected much before he goes to the court. To elaborate, I would say, if the revenue records are kept properly, the revenue cases relating the civil cases, disputes regarding property, would be lessened by huge number. We know what is happening in Karnataka. Each and every land record is computerized. So the moment he puts a click on the computer, he exactly knows which land belongs to whom and who has paid the rent in the last year. So the chances of the dispute would be much less, where compared to a state, whether you go into the details of that khata which that Karmachari takes with him, the DCLR is taking him. It will take ages to find out, even for the collector. I was collector for 9 years in 4 districts. 2 of them fall in Jharkhand. I was collector of Bokaro and Palamu. It takes even the collector huge amount of effort and time just to realize who the real owner of this land is. So there has to be a lot of effort to streamline the administration to deliver justice to people much before they go to the court. The same thing, I think, is applicable even for the criminal administration of justice. If I have a right to a free and dignified existence to travel in the roads of Ranchi without fear of somebody, eve-teasing my daughter or sister traveling with me, or my money is safe and the police is doing its duty, the chances of the person having to go and lodge an FIR in the Thana, and then the Thana going through a 2-3 years of lengthy process of writing the case diary and investigation report, and then finally going to a court and trying to get to justice would be reduced. So the scope of the government machinery comes much before the actual issue is being decided by the courts. So we have to streamline everything if we are talking about the real access to justice. Having shared this thought, another thought which came by the thought Mr. Parikh said, now we call, I have recently joined the profession, we call this a category of 5-star lawyers. Their fees ranges from 40 lakhs to 50 lakhs to even 80 lakhs per appearance. This is a huge problem because the people who have a lot of money can afford to get them as their lawyers, and sometimes they are pitted against the people who do not have that kind of money. And then the battle becomes very unequal. Here my suggestion is, 2 suggestions, that even the honorable courts, when faced with the 5-star lawyers, and a lawyer probably who is not very well known and his face has no face value, should be given some kind of equitable time to put his case. In fact, some of the countries have a rule that any lawyer, irrespective of your standing in the profession, you will be granted 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, in some of the courts in US, some of the states in US, after 20 minutes, the mic is automatically switched off and your time for verbal submissions is over, whoever you may be. So these are suggestions for some systemic change which should come before we can actually try to bring in, by personal efforts, of more speedy justice. I would like to be excused for my indulgence. Vote of thanks is not for this, but these 2 thoughts were in my mind, and I thought this is a very august forum where I can share all this. Your Lordship, first of all, I would thank Her Excellency द्रौपदी मुर्मू जी, और उन्होंने बहुत अच्छे तरीके से कहा कि मैं उस सामाजिक परिवेश से आती हूँ जहाँ जो पिछड़े लोग हैं, उन्होंने शब्द यूज़ किया पुअरेस्ट ऑफ द पुअर, जो अंत्योदय श्रेणी के लोग हैं, जिनके पास बिल्कुल पैसे नहीं हैं, उनकी क्या दुख है, उनके क्या तकलीफ हैं, उसको मैं समझती हूँ। और कैसे वो लोग डरते हैं कभी भी थाना जाने में, कैसे वो लोग डरते हैं किसी डॉक्टर खाना के यहाँ जाने में, कैसे वो लोग डरते हैं कोर्ट में जाने से। अगर हम रियल एक्सेस ऑफ जस्टिस की बात करेंगे तो हमको इन तीनों जो बातों से लोग डरते हैं जाने में, उस स्थिति में परिवर्तन करनी होगी, और हमको ये सोचना होगा कि ये परिवर्तन कैसे आएगा। Her Excellency, we are extremely grateful for you to giving us time to the India Legal Research Foundation and India Legal Group for having agreed to come here and give your inaugural address. We really thank you from our heart. Honorable Chief Justice, I have seen you in the court, Your Lordship, and I have seen how your heart beats whenever there is a question where poor are involved. Especially on the PIL days, we see how a lot of effort and thought and strain is taken by Honorable Chief Justice to ameliorate the conditions of the poor people. And it is apparent. It is not I am saying something in your presence. You can ask any person from the bar. His heart beats for the poor people. And that makes access to justice much easily available if this is the kind of thought process at the top of the judicial hierarchy. Your Lordship, thank you for coming and blessing us here. I thank Parikh ji. He is such a seasoned and senior advocate of Supreme Court for having come from Delhi and addressed us and blessed us. And everybody who has been here to make this whole program a great success. Because of paucity of time, I'm not able to thank each one of you here separately, but the entire team of India Legal, everybody who has worked, the cameramen, the technicians, people you don't see the face, but they have put in a lot of effort to make this event success, and my esteemed guests, my members of the press, friends from the press. This is a very, very heartfelt thanks to all of you from APN and India Legal family. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vimal. I'm calling you by your first name only because now you have joined the fraternity of journalists, and this show is being telecast all over India through APN. And will you please rise for the national anthem?